And we're live with my camera all messed up. What's up, everybody? You guys, you know what? I don't think I even added Manfear to the tier list before we made it. I need to fix that. Do you guys like my my new waiting to come on? Do you like that picture? I mean, I don't know. I kind of enjoy it. Well, welcome to the live stream. I want to get in the habit of just doing this a little bit more because I think it's a lot of fun just to chat, and this software makes it easy to do. Maybe we'll have some people hop in and join us. Maybe we won't. Who knows? But either way, I want to talk a little bit of Wheel of Time stuff. We'll talk about whatever's on your mind, and then I would say here in a minute, collectively, we'll make a tier list. So welcome to the live stream, everybody. Hold on one moment. I need to fix my screen so I can actually see what the hell you are saying to me. Okay. There we go. Got a 3D print, a Catan print to clean back in. Oh, yeah, go for it, man. Everybody serves the NAEBLIS? If that's what you're asking, everybody does. But hey, so first of all, what's up with everybody? I did a live stream about a week ago with my cohorts on Tarvalon After Dark. Here's the problem, Renat. My lighting right now, I have to switch computers to stream, and I don't have a ton of control over it's not actually the lighting that's that bad. It's the camera. If I turn my lighting off, watch this. I look kind of, well, that's not terrible, but it's not great either. So I don't know. Is this better, or is this is it better if I turn the lights back on? What's up? Yeah, I'm feeling like I like lighting because I don't like the way it sits. So you're just gonna have to deal with it bouncing off my face. So anyways, oh wow, some of you are really turning the lights on. You guys hate it. Okay, we'll leave the lights on. So any case, what I was going to say is I did a live stream about a week ago with my cohorts on Tarvalon After Dark. How many of you actually have listened to the podcast? I'm just curious. I'm not going to be mad at you if you haven't or not. I'm really just trying to get an idea of the people that have and have not listened to the podcast. It always takes you guys a minute to like catch up to me. So wear the wig. Well, hey, if you want the wig, here we go. Here's the wig. NAEBLIS wears wigs for money. That's about the only way NAEBLIS puts a wig on. So this head is bald for a reason. No wigs on this head. So 2 episodes in. You guys are liking the pod. I'm curious because I'm not a podcast person either. But we wanted to do something. If we were going to do a podcast, we wanted to do something, first of all, a little bit more adult themed. I'd say that's probably an understatement for what it is. But in addition, we wanted to do something funny and moderately short. We didn't want to go like super, super long. And again, guys, sorry for the lighting. For those of you mentioning how bright I am, it's kind of awful if I turn it off. I have to figure out how to adjust this camera. It's not... On my other computer, it's not an issue. On this one, it gets really screwy. But yeah, the podcast is a lot of fun. Damn it. Damn you, Jason. Okay. You asked for it. Here we go. One of these days, one of you is going to have to invest and get me a new wig. There we go. But thank you for the donation, Jason. If you really like seeing the wig, all it takes is a little money, and I'll put it on. I'm cheap. So, anyways, if you guys are not aware, we have a podcast. I will promo it here once, just because we're just getting started with it. There are 3-4 episodes out now. They've been a lot of fun to make, so hopefully you guys enjoy them so far. I think I need a long... I mean, if you guys want more wigs, you got to buy them because I will never purchase a wig on my own. It's just not my thing. I can tug. Yeah, get a braid. Well, so here's what we're going to do for most of this because I made like a tier list. Do you know what's really difficult about the Wheel of Time? Like really difficult to do is come up with main characters. I was thinking, oh, I'll just put together a tier list of some main characters from the books. And I ended up putting a tier list with like 69 characters, which is crazy. So like there's a lot of characters we're going to have to look at tonight. So let me go ahead and there we go. All right. Can you all see the tier list? So I am going to move this. Hold on. Move you guys over so I can see the chat. Okay. So for those of you who are not aware of how a tier list works, the S tier is like top tier characters, and then we got like level A, level B, level C, level D, D being like the worst. I think we're going to run through this together. I have some ideas. Yes. Love child of Boris Johnson and Sia. I mean, I can go a little bit more Sia, but then I can't do the tier list. So here's what we're doing. Okay. So we've got 69 characters. Perfect number. Let's start with these. I want to go like S tier. And I think what we'll do is we'll go through these characters. I want to see for you guys, like, help me place these because I'm kind of curious. I'll walk you through my thinking. We'll vote on my choice. And then you guys can tell me, okay, is that right or not? So we're going to start with, let's start with some easy ones. Let's start with Matt Coffin. I'm going to take some flack for this, but like I think a lot of the community would put Matt up on the S tier. Like I think that's where most people would put him. As a character, and I guess I see somebody asking this, how are we ranking them? I think it's, I think that's going to be subjective for a lot of you. I'm doing this in who I think is just kind of the best characters in terms of how well written they are, what their arcs look like, how much I enjoy reading their chapters. And I love reading Matt. However, I am not as big of a Matt fanboy as everybody else is. To me, Matt sits at the A tier. Now, I'm curious how many of you like agree with that choice, or is Matt just A S tier for all of you? Because I have a feeling I'm going to take some crap for putting him at A tier here. He's just not in my top tier characters, in my opinion. Just my opinion. I'm going to get hair in my tea, I think. Matt is S tier. See, I know you guys are going to take crap. All right, I'll put him there for now. We'll put him in the S tier for now. But if that S tier starts getting full, I think Matt jumps down to the A tier. I mean, can I put him in like half? I don't think I can. Okay. Let's move on to... All right, Elaine Trichand. Where does everybody put Elaine as a character? My initial thoughts are like C. But here's my thing with Elaine. I don't like Elaine, but I actually think that she's decently written. Like, she's written to be snotty. Her arc is sort of like she's annoying. I see some people saying B, C's. She's not an S tier in my opinion. I'm teetering on between a B and a C character in terms of rating. I just don't love Elaine. I think there are times where she does some cool things, but she also has some of the most boring parts of the series. So I think I'm going to put her at a B tier. Thoughts on the B tier? Anybody disagree, hate the B tier ranking, or want people who don't like Elaine? Well, first of all, Ipa, that is a great thing for people to do anyway. You should always check out Lesbian Nerdy's videos. I don't think I've seen this particular one. Eeple, what does she say in there about Elaine? I'm very curious. By the way, wig time is up. Wig time is up. Okay, let me switch the banner. There we go. Okay, moving on to a different character. Let's go with, I believe this is Avienda, I think. So Avienda. Where do we put Avienda? She kind of is like in the same B to A territory as me. For me, I like Avienda because she's kind of badass. She's not a super main character. Although at the end of the books, I really like her, and I like how she kind of plays out by being kind of a child and growing up, which is what all of them are. I think I'm going to put her at the A tier. That's where I feel like Avienda fits the best. She's kind of an A tier character for me. Agomar, Lord Agomar. I don't think we get enough of him. He's just kind of a D tier character to me in the sense that, like, he's cool, but he only does like stuff in a couple books, and it's kind of blah. So I'm sticking Ingtar in the D. In the D. Okay. Daggone it. Y'all suck. We got Caleb. Thank you, Caleb. And then we have Matt from Dusty Wheel. And in honor of Matt tipping $10. All right, I'm back with the wig on. Okay, so we'll come back to, we already did Agomar. Agomar is kind of a D to me. However, there is an Ingtar if I can find him on the list. Where did I put Ingtar? There are so many characters here that it's hard to... By the way, thank you, Dusty Wheel. Thank you, Caleb. I appreciate you. Okay. I did put an Ingtar, I swear. Where is he? Well, we'll find Ingtar in a minute when I can actually find him. Okay, let's do... Okay, Veron Mathwin. Veron Mathwin is very easily S tier for me. She definitely goes ahead of Matt. I love Veron. I just actually talked about this. Veron is one of my favorite characters. She's probably my third favorite character. She's totally S tier. End of discussion. Any of you who disagree with Veron being S tier, you are dark friends. And even then, you're still a dark friend. Well, I'm a dark friend, but I still think she's S tier. Okay. So Veron Mathwin, S tier. Tom Maryland. Is Tom... I honestly... Here's my opinion of Tom. I love Tom Maryland. I think he is... Hear me out. I'm gonna get crap for this. I think Tom is slightly overrated in the fan community. I truly do think it. I think people think Tom is like the greatest character ever written sometimes. To me, he's a solid A tier, and I think I'm going to put him behind Avienda. I kind of like Avienda more than Tom. He just... Actually, you know what? I'm going to put him ahead of Elaine, but he's a B tier to me. I think he's a B tier. He just doesn't do... He's helpful, but I don't know. Tom is a B tier, low A. I'll put him low A. Still ahead of Elaine. Okay, Nainee Valmira. My favorite character in the books. I'm going to put this one very clearly S tier. Top tier S tier. I talked about this on the podcast last week, but I'll mention this again now. Nynaeve has the most believable arc, in my opinion. She goes from being extremely insecure, which it shows through her, it shows through how nasty she is to people. Sometimes she's total S tier to me. You know, I see all of you saying that now, so agreed. She's totally an S tier character. She goes through this arc where I love the fact that she finally gets to a point where she gets to become Aes Sedai, goes through the testing, and like one of my favorite moments, I talked about this in our podcast. She goes through that moment. She gets out of it, and she sort of was like, she did the test. She had to walk instead of run and maintain serenity instead of saving people. And she gets out of the test, and she's furious, and she lashes out at the Aes Sedai. They say she didn't keep her calm, and she basically tells them to shove it and that it doesn't matter. If she has to maintain calm and not help people, she's not even going to be an Aes Sedai. And I love that moment because it's like, for her, she has finally figured out who she is. She becomes very secure in herself, and she's basically like, screw you guys, I am who I am. I help people. I love Nynaeve. She has, like, we're doing our top 6 moments from the books on the podcast, and we got through like the top 3. I feel like I could make a top 20 list for Nynaeve, in my opinion. So Nynaeve, total S tier. Okay, moving on from Nynaeve, let's do Cadsuane. All right, where does everybody feel like Cadsuane goes? Because on one hand, I don't like Cadsuane. I think she's representative of everything that is wrong about the Aes Sedai sometimes. However, she's extremely capable. And I have a respect of degree of sorts for Cadsuane. Like, I feel like she carries herself well. I like how she is written. I like that she actually pushes back on Rand, and she's doing it with purpose. Even though when we first meet her, we don't understand what that purpose is. Man, I'm going to put her at a B tier. I like Cadsuane scenes. I like how, for lack of a better way of putting it, bitchy she is. I don't know. I put her ahead of Elaine. I think she's a better character than Elaine. I do. So, of course, she's obnoxious, and I know a lot of you are going to hate her. She's a B tier to me. She's a B tier. So, okay, let's do Gwain Trichand. I can't stand Gwain Trichand. Can't stand him. I don't think his arc is consistent. I don't like who he is as a character. Like, very clearly a D. It's the question of, like, how far back do I want him to go? Like, for now, he's definitely behind Agonor. So, total D tier. Does anybody actually have a legit argument for why Gwain should be ahead of a D tier? Like, does anybody think that he should be ahead of his Art? You think he's fascinating? How? Gwain, look at you. Look at you trolling, Rob. Trolling. Yeah, total D tier, in my opinion. We're moving on from that one. Okay, I want to hit this. This is Amys. Amys, the Aiel Wise one. I like Amys. I think she's one of the more powerful characters that we kind of get in the story. Obviously, she was a Maiden of the Spear. She turns into a badass Wise One. She's a strong channeler. I like her. I don't feel like we get enough of her. I'm going to put Amys ahead of Cadsuane as a high B tier. She's not a bad character by any stretch of the imagination. I feel like she's somewhat underutilized, but I like her a lot. So yeah, she's going to get a B, but I could put her at A. All right, let's do Rand. Let's get this one out of the way. Rand is an S tier character. I don't necessarily like Rand, but I don't think we're meant to like Rand. Rand is one of the best written fantasy characters in my mind ever. He's incredible. His arc is great. They show his power creep well. He's going crazy. We don't always understand from his point of view what's happening. I'm going to put him just behind Veron. I think he's very clearly an S tier, but I like Nynaeve better. And yeah, he's a way bigger character than Veron, but I like him more. I like her more than him. So Rand is an S tier. He's not necessarily likable, but he's definitely S tier. He's ahead of Matt. I don't care what you say. He's a better character than Matt. I know a lot of you are going to argue with me on that. I still think Matt could be A tier because that's just who I am. But yeah, we'll leave it at that. So, okay, let's do Lan Mandragaran. Where do we put Lan? Lan is okay. Wig hair is getting in my mouth. That's disgusting. Okay, Lan. I think we like Lan. We kind of like the stoic, all of that, but he's also kind of bland until he kind of goes for Nynaeve a little bit. And the part that I think a lot of people like that I kind of think is stupid is I really don't like his super toxic masculinity style. Like, I've got to go die on my own just because to defend something that doesn't exist. Like, he just doesn't develop a whole lot. Honestly, you guys are going to hate me. I think Lan's a C tier character. I think he's a C. He's very bland. He doesn't develop at all, really. He kind of does his badass thing, but like, he has a cool moment at the end of the book when he kills Demon Dread. But like, outside of that, like, what do you love about Lan other than the fact that he's kind of one of the OGs? Wig is hot. I think time is up on the wig unless somebody purchases some more wig time. Maybe we need to put a timer up. I don't know. Tell me why Lan should be higher. Kills Demon Dread, drops the mic. You think that's the only reason? Because he does one thing, he should be a tier. All right, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to put him at B. He's a B tier character. I'll move him up. There's my compromise. Okay. Moving on. Let's do Ravine. Ravine as a character. First of the Forsaken we've done on the list so far. Where do I feel like I think we don't see him enough. He's somewhat effective in that he really does ruin Andor. I mean, he does a good job at that. He's moderately effective there. He almost kills Rand if not for Nynaeve. He is kind of mustache twirling, but like, I feel like he's a C tier character. Oh my gosh. Caleb, you're nuts, man. Thank you. The wig goes back on. Yeah, I think we're going to stick with C tier here. Okay. Let's move on to... All right, Bran Alvere. How do we feel about Bran Alvere? I like Bran. He's kind of cool. He's barely in the story. I think he's a solid C tier character. Of course, my opinion, I think they need to kill Bran in the show. I would love to see Fane kill him in front of the whole village because I think it would be impactful. Does anybody really disagree with me putting Bran Alvere at the C tier? Like, the wig is hot. Yeah, I'm sure it's super, super hot. Hold on, I need to take I always forget to take those down. Need a separate innkeeper list. Maybe we will do an innkeeper list. You think he's above Ravine? I think he's fine behind not Ravine. I don't feel like he's a D. I feel like D tier to me is like characters I necessarily don't like. And I'm going to put Agonor. I'm going to move him up to a low C because I just don't like Gwain. I want to keep the D tier for characters that I just think are bad characters. We'll keep the C here at like blah. There are bad characters in my opinion. And yeah, so we'll leave it at that. Okay, let's do Slayer. Where do we put Slayer? So my first inclination, I kind of like Slayer as a character. I like that he actually had a rough upbringing and there's a little bit of backstory to who he is. I like that. He has cool talents. I think he is a great counter to Perrin, but he also doesn't have a ton of character development. So I think he goes... He's a better villain than Ravine. I got to give him that. I think he's a better villain than Ravine. I'm going to give him a C tier. He just goes like, yeah, Jason, you said it right. I think that's a great point. He goes from underused to overused, and it's whatever. I like how dynamic. I like it's different. So, anyways, he goes C tier for me. Okay, let's move on to Agonor, or we'll also include in Agonor, we're going to include his other incarnations. So, like Agonor, and then also Deshiva, or I think he's also not Osangar. So I think that he is kind of a crappy character. I don't think he does anything ever. He like literally burns himself out at the beginning. He follows Rand around, attempts to kill him and fails, and then gets killed at the cleansing. Like, I think he does about nothing. I guess what would make anybody think Agonor should be higher than a low C? I'm almost tempted to put him D tier because I think he's worthless. What does Agonor do ever in the books that makes you like him? I'm waiting because right now he's going to go D tier to me. I can't think of a single thing I like about Agonor. What does he do? Just curious. Like, what do you think that he does? He created Shadowspawn way before the story, though. Like, he doesn't do it in the books. I don't want to give him credit for what he did. I don't know. He's going to stay D tier for me until somebody gives me a convincing argument outside of he made Shadowspawn. I just don't buy it. Okay, let's move on to Andral Genhold. This is a picture I found. So Andral, the Ashaman on Andral. I'm not in love with Andral like everybody is, because I sort of feel like he comes out of nowhere and then he's like a jack of everything, like he could do every trade. I think Andral might be the closest thing to a Mary Sue we have in the books. Because of everything he all of a sudden can do with gateways. That being said, I mean, I think he's a likable character. I think he's one of Sanderson's better written characters. So, and I like his interactions with Pavara. I really do. I am going to put Andral. I'll put him high B tier. I like Andral. I don't love Andral. I like Andral. So to me, he's going to be a high B tier for now. I definitely agree with Ipa. I like his relationship with Pavara, and that's interesting, which actually brings us, let's do Pavara. I have Pavara on the list here somewhere. I think this is Pavara. So, okay, Pavara. I actually like Pavara a lot. I think she adds a lot to the books in the sense that she's a red that is not always acting like a red, and we get backstory on her and we understand her. And her arc actually spans a couple books. She has a bigger role than people realize she does. I like her better than Andral, believe it or not. But I also know I'll take a lot of crap. I feel like she is I'm going to put her behind Elaine. I still like I don't hate Elaine. I just don't love Elaine. And I like Pavara more than I like Lan. So she's going to go B tier. She's a B tier. The best of the Aes Sedai, huh? I don't know if I agree with that, but okay, let's do one that I know will spark a lot of controversy. Gwain Alvere. Where are we going to put Gwain? I think I think she's A tier or S tier. I really do. I know some people are going to say she belongs lower than that. I think Gwain is S tier. I don't like her as much as I like Nynaeve, so she's definitely not going to go in front of Nynaeve. I don't like her more than Veron. I think Rand is just a better written character than Egwene. I think Egwene has a better arc than Matt. So to me, she's going to go S tier, but above Matt. That's what I think. I think she goes above Matt. She's S tier. I don't know. I'm waiting for anybody to give a very convincing argument that that's a bad idea to put her there. No, that's not a bad point. That's actually my worst, the stupidity with the seals. I think it's one of the worst written moments in the series, but I'll live with it. It was Sanderson. Now this I love from Ipa, because he's right. I don't like how all stupid the Aes Sedai became when they interact with Egwene, and that's totally true. I mean, I think Egwene is not necessarily a Mary Sue. It's just everybody around her starts acting dumb. So I think it's solid, though, to keep her S tier. Let's do Galad. Where do we feel like Galad goes? I like Galad more than most. I think Galad has an arc. He kind of follows the arc of the White Cloaks, like he kind of discovers who he is to a degree. I think Galad is actually a very good character. Yeah, he's not always likable, and he represents zealot, like being a zealot. Zealot. Why can't I say that word? My God. I like Galad's character. I'm actually going to put him A tier for me. I think he goes up A tier, and I think he goes behind Tom and Aviendha. I personally like Gawain's character. Somebody tell me why he should be lower than A. Whew. All right. No more wig. Okay. I don't think it's... I'm still seeing Galad. Here we go. We got Galad as a B. It's a messed up child to give us a sense to his personality. I agree. I think there's actually a reason why he is who he is. But that being said, I like that. I don't think that I have to like the characters necessarily to think they're good. And I like him I like how well written he is. So that's where I'm going to leave him for now. Okay, let's do Loyal. Where do we think Loyal goes? Like, I think Loyal is a lovable character. Does Loyal do anything? Or have you read a single scene where you're like, I can't wait for Loyal to be on screen? I love reading Loyal chapters. Like, does anybody say that? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I know part of us is like, we love Loyal. Like, we love him, but why do we love him? We love him because he's likable, or we love him because we like reading about Loyal? I think he's a sidekick that he doesn't have much of a personality. Like, I take that back. He does. And he does, I don't know. I am going to put Loyal above Pavara. I'll put him above Elaine, behind Cadsuane. He's going to be a solid B tier for me. I just don't think he does enough. And like, I don't ever look forward to reading Loyal chapters. Like, I like Loyal, but again, when are you ever? I've asked this, and I don't think anybody said this yet. Who is like excited for when Loyal comes up? Like, at what point do you go, oh, I can't wait till I get to those pages where Loyal's on there? Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like he deserves much higher than that to me. So I'm going to leave him at B tier. All right, let's do... I think this is Gall. Where do we put Gall? Like the Aiel Gall. To me, like, he's pretty cool with Perrin. I like Gall. He's very loyal to Perrin. Very loyal. I feel like Loyal kind of fits in the same place that Gall does. Like, I feel like he's a solid B tier character. I'm going to put him behind Elaine. Excuse me. I just don't know that I feel like Gall deserves to be much higher than that. He doesn't have a big enough role. He's there. Actually, I'm going to put him behind. He's definitely not a better character than Lan, so I can't say that. He's going to go down here above Bran, behind Demandred. There we go. I feel like he's a solid C tier character. So that's where I feel like he's going to go. Okay, in terms of characters, Elida. Where do we put Elida? To me, Elida is a very solid A tier character. I hate Elida, but I love to hate Elida. And I think she's written very well. Like, she's kind of half crazy. She is powerful and she's smart, but she kind of gets dumb. And there's an argument for her to be corrupted by Fane, which I think is fairly obvious. Yeah, I'm sorry. I did mean Ravine, Andrew. But I feel like Elida is a solid A. I don't know that I put her on the S tier, but she's a great villain that's not truly evil. So I feel like she's good for that. I feel like she's fairly consistent. I like her at the A tier. So I think she's a pretty solid A. I put her at the top of my A. Okay. Let's do Tamalthor. Again, Tam is another character that I feel like we love Tam, right? But on the flip side, like, what does Tam do? Because I have a feeling some people are gonna be like, S tier. I don't know. I don't think he's S tier. I struggle putting him super high A tier. I don't think he's B, so I feel like he goes up here, but he's just not in the books a ton. I feel like I'm going to put him at the A tier, but I am interested. Now, let's be nerdy. We were talking about you earlier. I will always let me know. Shoot me a text when you're about to go to bed. That is when I will start my live streams. I'm joking. You could feel free to come on the live stream if you want, Jenny. That'd be fun. But I feel like Tam is a low tier A. Like, he doesn't do much. He's great and he's fatherly and all that, but he's not amazing. So he's an A tier to me. He's low key A tier. I'm going to leave it at that. Okay, let me move on to Moridin. How do we feel about Moridin as a villain? I like Moridin. I feel like she has the worst luck in the world of all the Shadow Spawn. Like, but yet she keeps surviving. Like, she survives and survives and survives. So, like, my inclination here is I think she's a better villain than Ravine, even though she gets her butt kicked. Better than Slayer. I think she's a B tier. I'm going to put her behind Elaine, but right here. I think Moridin is kind of a low-end B tier, in my opinion. That's kind of where I feel like it fits the best. So, anybody want to give me a good argument for why she should be higher than low-end to B tier? No? Yeah, that's kind of where it sits. So, okay, we're going to move on. How about Morgase? Where do we put Morgase? Trichand. I wish she was just written better. I feel like she's tragic in everything that happens to her throughout the books. I mean, she starts off as this really powerful queen, and we never really get to see too much of that. And I'm not a huge fan of her plot line. So to me, she's kind of a lower end C. I like her more than Gall. I hate to put her right next to Ravine, but I think that's where she's going to go for now. I like Ravine as a character better. Yes, this is full spoilers, guys, so be careful. So, yeah, I'm going to put her at a C tier. I just don't think she adds enough to the story. And then we've got Talonvor, who I just don't like as a character at all. Talonvor is going to go in the D tier to me. He's a little lower than Agonor and a little higher than Gwain. I'm not a huge fan of Talonvor. I don't really like that plot line with Morghese. I don't like the whole get married already thing. I don't like that. So Talonvor is going to stay low to me. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. Okay. Yep, agreed. Lesbian nerdy, nailed it. There you go. Okay. Let's do Elias Machera. Where do we put Elias? Elias tends to go where people tend to think of him more as like Perrin's Tam or Perrin. I don't know. I kind of like Elias. I feel like Perrin really doesn't need him. To me, Elias is a high level C. I don't dislike him. I don't think he's great. By the way, thank you, Vincent. Appreciate the support and appreciate you making me wear the wig. There we go. Wig is on. Thank you again. I just don't see Elias being much higher than a C tier character. I don't know about you guys. I just don't see it being higher than that. So I'm going to leave it. I wish we saw him more. I really do. But that is what it is. Okay, let's do Landfire, aka Manfear. How do we feel about this one? Landfire to me is a great character. She's a great villain. I wish she was a little better. I wish she had more successes. We'll put it that way. But I do think she's a very high A tier character. I would put her probably behind Aviendha and ahead of Tom, is where I'm feeling. See, some of you are like solid S. I don't think she's an S. Jason thinks she's a C. I'm not a big fan of... I don't think Landfire's a C. Right now, I'm leaning mid-range A tier for Landfire. I like Landfire as a character. I do think there were a couple things they could have done differently with her, but I like her. I don't think I could get convinced for S tier. I don't. I really don't think I see her as an S, but I do see her as a mid-level A. Okay, let's do Logan. Where do we put Logan? Logan, to me, is another character that I think everybody loves to love, but I think it's because we love the concept of what Logan could have been. He really does not have a great role in the books. I don't know. Like, I don't even feel like he's A tier. I wish he was A tier. I'd put him ahead of Andral just because I feel like he's more established than Andral. To me, Logan is sitting at a solid B tier, like top of the B tier for me. I don't know. I struggle to put him higher than that. He doesn't have much of an arc per se. Like he does and he doesn't. He's just kind of brooding all the time. Now, there is some truth to that. He represents Saidin and how people fear it. Sure. But I also feel like he doesn't do enough. And I wish we saw more of him doing his thing. What does he do to justify a high B? I don't know, now that I think about that, because I just don't feel like Andral should be ahead of him. I am going to move Cadsuane. I know you guys, I've been thinking about this. Cadsuane is at the top of my B now. I actually like Cadsuane. I'm moving him. And I'm going to move Elaine a little bit too, because I think Elaine is actually decent. So there we go. I've moved the two of them. They're still staying B tier though. Okay. Let's do Moridin. Where do we feel like Moridin goes? I like Moridin a lot. In fact, to the point that I probably think he is an S tier. Because, like, he is the main villain. He doesn't have the same motivations as the other villains do. Actually, I'm going to put him at the top of the A tier. That's where I feel like he goes, because there's another Forsaken I feel like goes higher. But he really fits that. He has his reasons for going to the shadow. They're logical. He just wants everything to end. And everything he does is to that end. I like him. So he sticks to the A tier to me. Top of the A tier. Let's do Asmodian. Asmodian is a character I actually kind of liked, and I hated that he died because I wanted more of him. Like, I liked his possible redemption arc. I liked that scenario that he was in. To me, Asmodian is probably a B tier character. I would put him right around the middle of the B tier. I wish we got more of him. I didn't want him to die at the end. So he's going to stick middle B tier for me. I do like him, and I liked his scenes. I always, when I read the books, I look forward to Asmodian scenes. So that's kind of my take on him. Let's do Ruark. Where do we put Ruark? I like Ruark. He's my favorite of the Aiel clan chiefs. I like that I just like him. I like how humble he is, but also how deadly he is. But we just don't get a ton of Ruark. So I'm going to put him right behind Logan in the B tier. Ahead of Andral. I think he's a good B tier character. I like him a lot. We didn't get quite enough of him to make it A to me. So he's going to stick high B tier. Okay, let's do... Who is that? I don't even know who some of the characters are that I picked. Taumanus. What do we think of Taumanus? I think everybody likes Taumanus. I think he's good comedy relief. I don't think he does much more than that, and I don't like how all of a sudden he becomes like the Fade Killer at the in the beginning of A Memory of Light, because that's like something that like most people can't do, and then he kills like all of them. I'm not a fan of that, so I feel like Taumanus gets low B tier to me. He is good comic relief. I like his interactions with Matt. I think he's a lovable character. I don't feel like I can go higher than the low end of the B to me. That's kind of where I sit with it. I don't know about what the rest of you think, but I would have been cool. I wish he had died. Let me see. Yep. So Jason agrees high C for Taumanus. Ipa agrees with me that he should have died. I agree. Here we go. Nathan, you missed it. Yes, I have Lan at the bottom of B tier. And my whole thinking with that is he's just kind of plain. What does he do? He's a badass. Yeah, I don't look forward to Lan scenes. I don't know. Not a huge fan of it. Okay, let's do Padon Fane. Gosh, Padon Fane is the most underused villain. Like, he could have been amazing. He starts off really good. His ending is so bad. And he disappears for a while. Like, Fane is so good. And I love actually reading how psychotic he is. I feel like I have to put him low A tier. Like, I want to put him higher, but I can't. I don't feel like he should go lower. So I'm going to stick with Fane as A tier. Bottom of the A tier. It's just, I don't like the way it ends. I wish there was a better ending to Fane's arc. I wish it had been something like he became the Dark One, or he was the instrument that allowed the boar to be sealed, whatever it would be. I wish that was part of it. So I don't know. That's kind of where I sit with that. Okay, let's do Min Farshaw. Contrary to a lot of people, I actually like Min. I know everybody, the common meme is that Min is a lamp or whatever. And I like her. I don't love her. To me, she's maybe a high C tier. Or B. Man, some of these are tough. I like Min. I'm going to put her ahead of... I'm going to put her right behind Elaine. That's where I feel solid about her right there. Right in the middle of the B tier. I like Min. There are parts where she does turn into the lamp meme where she's just there to be there for Rand. Like, she doesn't really have much of an arc of her own. And I see a lot of you are actually kind of going back and forth. B+, Bs, As, Cs. Like, she adds a lot to the story. I think the story would be different without Min. So I'm going to put her in the middle of the B tier. That's where I feel confident. Let's do Simurog. Simurog is the Forsaken that is scary. She is terrifying. She never truly gets to be terrifying, though. Like, she never does anything crazy terrifying. So, like, other than when she, obviously kidnaps Rand, sort of, and almost makes him kill Min, which I kind of want to happen. I know you guys, a lot of you have heard that. I feel like she is low B tier. If we got more of her, she would be amazing. We just didn't get more of her, and I wish we had. Tons of potential. So she's low B tier to me. She's definitely better than Ravine. Let's do Grendel. Grendel to me is an S tier. I love Grendel. Love her. I love her psychology. I love how she plays with people. I love her hedonism. I think she's effective. So I'm going to put her at the bottom of my S tier. I think Grendel is one of the best of the Forsaken. I enjoy her quite a bit. So, and she's the Forsaken that I look the most forward to getting points of view from. So I think she's a pretty solid S tier. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. Man, my voice is going today. Okay. Swan Sanche. I like Swan when she's in power. I don't like how nasty she gets towards the end. So Swan is a solid B to me. I like her, but I'm going to put her right behind Min because I feel like there are times where I don't like her. She doesn't quite have this. Actually, I take that back. Now that I think about this, she does sacrifice. She's low A tier to me. I take that back. She's a low A tier. By the way, thank you, Jason. Get to back and highlight your comment. Grendel is S tier, yes, and you get the wig, so there you go. Thank you again. Appreciate it. Okay. Swan, I'd say, is B, but she's not a main character. She comes out on about halfway into her own. She does. I don't know. I just don't like the bitterness thing with Gareth Bryn. I don't like that part, but yeah, I'm going to leave it. I'll leave her there at the low end of the A. Mazrim Taim. Do you like Mazrim Taim as a villain? I think he's fairly effective. He's definitely scary. He's not likable. Rand should have very clearly seen that he was up to no good before. I am going to put Mazrim Taim at very high B tier. I think he is a great villain. He is kind of mustache twirling, but he's a very pragmatic villain. He's not a schemer in the sense that the other Forsaken are. He just gets shit done. Like, that's kind of Taim. So I'm going to put him at the B tier. He is effective, right? And he is going above Logan because I actually think Taim is more fleshed out than Logan to a degree. So that's where they go. I've got Taim, Cadsuane, and Logan all in the same little nook there. So that's where I'm going to put them. Okay, let's do Sotala Anon. She's kind of cool. I like her as a motherly figure. She just doesn't have a huge role. She is sort of Elias to me. She goes in the C tier. I don't hate her, but I don't think she's a great character. So Sotala Anon is going to go into the C tier for me. Tell me I'm wrong. Man, this wig is having issues. I do look pretty in it, though. Okay, Alana Mosvani. Where do we want Alana? I don't really like Alana. I don't feel like outside of bonding Rand, essentially sort of raping Rand. I mean, that's kind of what that is, right? Bonding him without his will. Alana is very low C to me. I don't think she does much. I don't like her. I don't look forward to Alana scenes. I don't like what she did to Rand. And I don't like how she just disappears and then later is a crutch to basically get. I feel like she's probably, yeah, I like her above Bran Alvere. I'm going to put her in the C tier. I mean, she does enough. She's a big enough a part of the story. I don't hate her, but she's not a good character, in my opinion. Okay, let's do another controversial one. Let's do a controversial one. Tuon. Where do we want to put Tuon? I mean, I think objectively we hate Tuon, right? Like we don't like her. That doesn't mean that she's poorly written. So, like, I don't have to like these characters. I think Tuon is actually fairly well written, and I actually feel like the interactions with her and Matt are moderately believable. So, as much as I don't like her, I think she's a good character. I'm almost tempted to put her in the A tier. I hate her, but I think she's good at what she does. And it's believable. Her arrogance is like a real arrogance. It's not a like facade one. She's an A tier to me. And I think Jenny puts it well. I think Tuon is really interesting, and I like her as a character, not as a person. Totally agree. By the way, if you do not follow Lesbian Nerdy on YouTube, you should do that. She makes great videos. She writes good articles for Dragon Mount. Definitely follow Lesbian Nerdy's channel on YouTube. It's awesome. Okay, let's keep moving here. Let's do Lyanna. Where do we put Lyanna? She's kind of a nothing. Like she gets flirty, but like I don't know. I never really feel great about Lyanna. She is going to go here in the C tier to me. That's where I feel like I'm going to put her. A little behind Ravine. I don't care much for Lyanna as a character. I think she's okay. I don't hate her, but I don't like her. Fael. I think Fael gets a bad rap. Outside of the Dragon Reborn, I can't stand Fael there. I feel like after Perrin's family is murdered and she comforts him, from then on out, I actually like Fael. I don't think Fael is as evil as people think she is. In fact, I'm going to go as high. This is going to make people mad. Fael, to me, is an A-tier character. Hate me. Ha, ha, ha. Oh, I was about to take the wig off, and Eric Johnson made me put the wig back on. Thank you, Eric. You said... Oops, I hit the wrong one. Perrin is my favorite character, but it takes 10 books for him to stop being a crybaby. He's a badass when he finally accepts who he is and flies with the Wolfhead banner for a high S. Ooh, I don't know if Perrin's good. We'll do Perrin next for you. Oh, I knew I would make people mad with Fael. I knew it. Ooh. But okay, Fael's jealousy. I've heard Lesbian Nerdy talk about this one, and she makes an outstanding point. Fael doesn't actually ever act on her jealousy. It's just Perrin smelling her. And that's why we think she's, most of people's dislike for Fael comes through Perrin being able to do something that nobody else can. He's smelling her emotions that she's never verbalized. Why does that make her bad? You understand what I mean? It's not That's why I think she's a high A tier character. I actually think she's a good character. Because most of the things that you don't like about her are coming from Perrin's point of view. And yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm putting her. Sticking to it. Tesslyn Baradon. I actually like Tesslyn. She's my second favorite red sister behind Pavara. So I'm going to put her right there. She goes right here ahead of Taumanus. I like Tesslyn. I like it when the reds aren't totally evil. And Tesslyn is certainly not evil. So I like her. So Tesslyn gets a B tier from me. Demandred. Where are we putting Demandred? I like him. I think he's an effective villain. He's not in the story too much. I can't stand that he was too stupid to stand on the battlefield and yell, "Where are you, Lews Therin?" for an entire last battle. That I don't like. So he would be higher to me, but if not for that, I am going to put him slightly behind Landfire. He's going to go A tier to me. I just think he's A tier. He's mid-level A tier. He could be better. I like the way Sanderson tried to set him up as the other savior that could have been Rand if he had just made different choices. I like that. But at the end of the day, he stood there and screamed Lews Therin for days instead of winning the battle. So I think that was dumb. So he goes in the mid-level A tier to me. Hopper. Where does Hopper go? Again, this is one that's going to tug on the heartstrings. Where does Hopper go? Hopper to me is a solid character that isn't totally fleshed out. He's sort of a guide for Perrin, but it's not a super exciting guide. And frankly, like some of the Wolf Dream scenes I get bored with. You guys are going to hate me. He's low B. He's a low B tier. In fact, I'm going to put him in the C tier. He just doesn't do enough, guys. What does he do? I don't see it. He's a C tier. C tier. Hate me if you want. Hate. Bring on the hate. Let's do Perrin now because I said we would and I forgot. Perrin, I don't feel like Perrin is S tier. Perrin could have been S tier. And then Perrin's story just drags. He becomes boring. He mopes about trying to pretend like he can't. He's objectively a bad leader. I don't like reading about Perrin. I'm going to put him... Perrin is going to be an A-T character to me. A-tier character. I think he's a high A-tier because he does have some development. And he's flat out my favorite character in the Shadow Rising. I mean, really? Like, he's amazing in Shadow Rising. And I like Perrin sometimes. I just can't stand that stretch in the middle where he's a mopey, for lack of a better way of putting it, a mopey bitch. I can't stand it. So that's the only reason I'm dropping him. He's an A tier to me. What about Lews Therin? Where do we want to put Lews Therin Telamon? Because I have him as a character. I like that he's crazy. I like that he's in Rand's head. By the way, time for the wig to come off. I actually think Lews Therin, I like his craziness. I like how he helps Rand. He's going to be a low tier A character. He would be higher if he actually had anything to do more than just being a voice. But I like it. So A tier to me. We'll get moving here because we've got a lot more of these. All right, Balthamel, also Arengar, also Halima. I like this character a lot. Way more than Agonor. He actually messes with Egwene. I like knowing that Halima is Agonor, or I'm sorry, Halima is Balthamel, and is right there with the Gwain. I love that we know that and she doesn't. So I actually like the character a lot. I'm going to put Halima below Taim. I'm going to go right here in the middle of the B tier. I like Halima. I think it's actually effective. So we're going to go with B tier. But outside of that, kind of pathetic. You're right. Jane Farstrider. Where do we feel like putting Jane Farstrider? Also known as Noel. I am like cool with it. I thought, wow, that's actually kind of a cool thing. I didn't quite catch that he was actually Jane. But it's also not that interesting, but he is sort of a celebrity. I'm going to put him right here. He's kind of Elias to me. I'm going to put him here right next to Elias Machera. So he's going to be C tier. Jane Farstrider is C tier. I have no idea what character that is. My goodness. Okay. Masana is low C tier. I really don't like him or like her. I don't think she does anything that's that cool. She's not scary. I don't like that she's, I don't know. She's going to go C tier to me. Yes, Leandren. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's the one I was looking for. Okay. Let's do Leandren. I like Leandren as a villain. I think she's a good villain. I think she is just bad enough that you don't like her. And obviously is Black Aja. But she doesn't have a huge role in the story. So I'm going to put her low B tier is where I think Leandren goes. I think she could be better if she had had more story time, but I'm going to put her low B tier. I want to get moving on these because I don't want this to be the only thing I do. Davram Bashir. I like Bashir. I like that he commits to Rand. I like that he's loyal to Rand. And I think he's kind of funny in a sense. So I'm going to put him B tier. He's going to go middle of the B tier. So I'm going to do definitely a B tier for Davram Bashir. Shiriam. Shoot. She's okay. She's C tier to me. She goes right here. Shiriam is C tier. I like the reveal that she was Black Aja. I think that's cool. I liked Shiriam up to that point, which actually makes that kind of cool. So she's definitely a C tier. I don't hate her by any stretch. So we'll go with that. Who in the heck is that? Oh, Elaine. Where do we want to put Elaine? I like Elaine. I like that she uses herself to get what she wants. I like that she's manipulative. I don't like the whole trying to take Fael thing, but it kind of fits with her character. I'm going to put Elaine as an A tier character. I like her a lot. I'm actually going to put her ahead of Fael because I like her more. I'm going to put her right there. So very good. Good logic there, Ipa. Elaine is hot. I mean, a good character, A tier. Agree. So I'll put her up there. Rodel Ituralda. I love Rodel Ituralda. I think he's genius. I love his scenes. I love anything Rodel is in. He's my favorite of the great captains. He is going to be an A-level person to me. He goes right here, right behind Avienda. That's where I'm putting him. Love him. Easy A tier. He's not quite S tier, but he's a very easy A tier. So definitely a big fan of mine. Where do we want to put Bilal? I think Bilal was effective. He just wasn't in the story enough. I'm going to put him a little below Masana. He's kind of blah, so he goes there. Pedro Nile. I kind of like Pedro Nile. I wish we got more of him. He just dies early, but I like that he's manipulative. I like that he was trying to play the game. And I love the smart characters that they write. So I'm going to put him as a low tier B is where I'm going to put Pedro Nile. Let's do Gareth Bryn. I think Gareth Bryn is boring. I just said it. I think he's boring. He's supposed to be this fatherly figure. I just find him boring. I'm going to put him below. He's smart. I'm going to put him low B. I take that back. I'm going to put him high C. He goes right next to Hopper. Below Hopper. Yeah, I could do that, Wolf Brother. We'll go Gareth Bryn below Hopper. Yeah, I think he's boring. I'm not a huge fan. Okay, let's do, who do we have next? Who the heck is that? I did Amis. Sulin. Sulin, the Maiden of the Spear. I kind of think Sulin is funny. So I am going to put Sulin as a low B tier. I enjoy her. She's not in there a lot, but I like her as a Maiden of the Spear. I think she says funny things to Rand. So she's going to be a low B to me. So I'll put her low B. Aeginin, I actually kind of like Aeginin. She's obviously not a major character, but I like her. She's going to go low B. I'll put her above. We'll put her right there in the middle of the B. That's where I like Aeginin. Brigitte. I think Brigitte's cool. I don't hate Brigitte. I don't like Brigitte. So she kind of feels like she should be in the middle to me. So I'll put her right here next to Min in the B tier. That I agree with too. I liked her as strong, Aeginin. I'm not a huge fan of Lylewyn. So Brigitte goes in the B tier. Samael is an idiot. He's kind of a lovable idiot in my sense, in my mind. Like, he is terrible at being a Forsaken. He thinks he's always right, but yet at the same time, he's kind of effective at what he does. So I feel like he's a B tier Forsaken, just not a great B tier Forsaken. So I'm going to put him right here behind Lan. So, I didn't get Sylviana. I should have done Sylviana. Bail Doman is going to go with Aeginin. I like Bail Doman, but he's kind of a blah character. In fact, I'll probably put him in the C tier. He's just kind of, I mean, by his aged grandmother, I like that, but he's just kind of blah. Okay, the last two, I'm very curious. Where do we put Moiraine? Moiraine is S tier, in my opinion. I think she's one of the best. I love the way she's written. Now, the question is, where does she go in the S tier? I think she's a better character than Grendel, even though I love Grendel. I think she's a better character than Matt. I'm going to put her right there. I like every character ahead of Moiraine. I like Nainee, Veron, Rand, Egwene more than I like Moiraine, but I like her better than Matt. So she's going to go in the S tier, but she goes there. Now, the last one. Does anybody guess what this is on our tier list? The last one is Bella. Where does Bella go? I'm going to let you guys choose this one. Let's do a small vote. Where is Bella going to go? Is Bella S tier? Is Bella A tier? Is Bella B tier? Or C? Or do you think Bella is a D tier character? Bella's D. I never got the love. Nathan, you better watch it, man. The community's going to kill you. Bella's a low B. We got an S. A tier. She literally carried a lot of the cast. Okay. So right now we're at an A. We're kind of balancing out there. Do we feel like Bella belongs in the A tier? Bella is the top of the S. I mean, that's Mimi. We'll put her in the A tier. We'll call it a night. Bella, I feel like there we go. There is my tier list. I'm going to save it. I'll post this in the Discord afterwards, so we can debate it again if you guys didn't get to see this. But I am, man. Okay. So back to this. Where is Narg? I left out Narg. I've got like all these hairs falling out of that wig that are like in my mouth. Yeah, I didn't do Soralia. There were so many characters that I just did not get to because I was like trying to put all these together. It was just so many, and I'm sure I missed a ton. But yeah, that was fun though. That was a lot of characters. I don't know how many more I could do because my voice was starting to go anyway. But yeah, I definitely had fun with that. You forgot the second best red. Who's the second best red, Andrew? Who is it? Well, I wait on you to answer that because it always takes you guys time to get to me. Anyways, okay, we'll leave it at that. It was fun. I did definitely forget Sylviana. But hey, whatever. Well, guys, Sylviana was the second best red. Okay, that's who you were saying. I did forget to put Sylviana on, but I am interested to see your favorites. Still getting hairs from the wig out of my mouth. They were like falling in my mouth as I was talking. Well, guys, I am probably going to call it a night here soon. Let me show one more thing. If you have not checked out the podcast yet, big fan of what I'm having a lot of fun making this with Jess and Recapa Sadai from Wheel Talk and Jesse, formerly of the White Tower podcast. You can see the link right here, kind of scrolling across the bottom, thegreatblight.com/Tarvalin After Dark. If you want to check out the podcast, it is a lot of fun. I think you guys are, for the most part, enjoying it. Let me give you guys also a quick show of what I've been doing here. So this is a map of Tarvalin. Now, it is not very zoomed in right now. I have been building this map. It's not done yet. It is a 2-scale map of Tarvalin, meaning like you could zoom in on every building in the entire city and see the parks. It's gigantic, and this has been taking me forever. The main reason I've been building it is I'm doing a video with Unraveling the Pattern where we're going to be using this map, and that is the Battle of Falma video. So I am almost done with this, believe it or not, but I wanted to give you guys a quick show of kind of what is going on with it because it's gigantic. This takes forever. There's literally like thousands of buildings. So I can't wait to like get it out where you guys can look and zoom in on the full size stuff. But I just wanted to show you that it's nuts. So been a lot of fun. I can't wait to get these maps out because like I said, you can kind of explore the town a little bit. So anyways, I'm going to take that down. Why do I need Tarvalin for the Battle of Falma? Because you'll have to find out because it's all about the lead up. So you'll see. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh my gosh. I wonder if I can put that up. Why did I just think I can't help that I have a wide set vagina and oh, okay. I can't read that out loud. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for joining me on the live stream. This was a lot of fun. Thank you for coming. I have a video coming out tomorrow, which you guys will all get. And yes, I have a podcast, Nathan. Definitely check it out. Again, it is Tarvalin After Dark. It is on all of the major podcasting services, Spotify, Apple. You can get it at thegreatblight.com/Tarvalin After Dark. We have 4 episodes out, and it is a lot of fun. It's sort of a comedy thing. It's not, and then we do some talking. I think it's definitely different, so you will enjoy it. So, guys, anyways, thank you again for watching. Yeah, if you don't mind, leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Thank you for joining. Peace out.